What's going on? This is Pedram from pedramtv.com, and today I want to talk about three of the biggest fears we human being have and how these fears are stopping us from where we want to go in life. So fears, we all as a human, we all have some fears, some more than others. But fear are what needs to be mastered and what needs to be learned to overcome if you want to have the good life, if you want to have good relationship, if you want to end your money worries, if you want to have good health. Now, we are never too perfect, and we as human beings, we are always striving for a better version of ourselves. And me making this video doesn't mean that I'm fearless, because I still have these fears from time to time, and these are the exact things that stops me and stops so many other people as well. So I want to talk about it so we can learn how we can feel our fear and act anyway, because no matter who you are as a human being, you cannot say I don't have any more fears, because fears are actually what we have as human being. We are hard drive to have fears, and fear sometimes can be good. Like if you're in a forest or in a jungle, if a lion attacks you, fear is good. Fear is actually going to help you survive. It's going to help you escape. So fear is a good thing. And what we need to realize is, how can we feel the fear and do it anyway? It's not that we don't feel fear anymore. It's that we feel the fear and will act despite of it. There was a good saying that I heard some time ago that went along the line of, fear is wetting yourself, actually weeing in your trousers, and courage is to keep going. So it's not that we don't have any more fears. We learn to control them, and we learn to get them to work in our favor. So let's talk about the three fears. What are the three biggest fears we as human beings have that's stopping us from where we want to go, and stopping us from striving for the good life and getting the things that we want? And we all have these fears, no matter who you are. But like I said, is learning how to control and learning to act despite. So three biggest fears we people have, and we need to learn to overcome these in order to go to where we want to go. Number one, fear of other people, fear of criticism. Now, people are much afraid from being criticized than actually they're afraid of failing. Failing is a fear, but fear of other people is actually why most of us have. And if you know the saying that goes, the most feared thing is public speaking, the reason why we fear public speaking so much is because of what other people think. It's not because of anything else. It's because what other people are going to think of us when we get onto that stage and public speak. So fear of other people. You need to learn to control this fear, and you need to learn to overcome this fear. And you need to start taking action and feeling the fear and doing it anyway. So like I said, it's very important. I'm going to say it again. It's not that we don't have any fears. It's we have fears, but we have to learn to act despite of it. So like I said, fear is wetting your pants and courage is to keep going. So the ones that are successful and go to where they want in life is not because they don't have fear, because I'm telling you now, they do. But it's because they ignore the fear and they keep going anyway. So I want you to understand this point, that you're gonna always feel fear, and is the key here is to act and no matter what. You're gonna feel it, but you're gonna learn to love fear. You gotta learn to really embrace fear and keep going. Now I know it doesn't sound easy, but trust me, if you try and if you give it all your shot, if you give it all from your heart, you will be able to overcome these fears. I know it for sure. So fear of other people. You gotta stop caring what other people think of you. Now, that's not to say go do something stupid and 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 let people hate you just because you want to show you don't care. Just when it comes to the things we want, making that sales call or talking to the person you like, maybe in a shopping mall or in a coffee shop, or going to the gym, even that's kind of a fear. We have to start acting. Maybe if we're a little bit overweight, we're scared what others think of us. You need to learn to act no matter what others think of you. And to to for those of you that have fear of other people, I want you to know, look, don't care about you. People, all they care about is themselves. Just the same way me and you are always constantly think about ourselves and how others think of us, other people are the same. They're constantly thinking about themselves and how others think of them. So they might think about you for a minute, but they will go back to themselves again. So you don't need to worry about what others people think. And know that if you do something, someone might put you on a spot, criticize you, but again, within few minutes, they will go back to what they were doing because they care about themselves too. They care about what other people think. So the spotlight is always on them. So if you have fear, learn to act whether you have the fear or not, and also know that people don't care. Next one is fear of death. Now, death is the unknown words, and no one really talk about death in our society, not as much as we should hear and talk about it, but people fear death because they don't know what's going to happen. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say to you, I don't fear death, because I do. But fear of death, we need to learn to manage it. We need to learn to use fear of death in our advantage to go to where we want to go in life. Now, some people think you shouldn't talk about death because it's no good, or if you think about death, you have a loser mindset and you have a sad life. Now, I'm here to tell you completely opposite, and I think you should talk about death because it's such an important part of our life. We should remind it on a daily basis that our life is going to end. And that's how we're going to live a good life. And now if you disagree with me, that's fine. You can disagree with me. But if you look at the people that appreciate life more than we do, the one that we never experience death. If you look at people, the ones that really truly live life are the people that had near-death experiences. Give you an example, a near plane crash experience. What happens to you when you have a near plane crash experience? You live a better life. You appreciate life. What happens to you when you have cancer? You live a better life. You appreciate life more because you had a near-death experience or you went close to death. So something as important as death, that is part of everybody's life, should be thought about every single day. And that's one way to beat it as well, is to understand your time here on this planet is limited. And my time is short, and I have to do my very best every day. Every single day. And know that people that had a near-death experience, they live a much better life. Now, if I tell you today that your life is going to end, in a week time, what would you do? All of a sudden, you're going to do all the things that are most important in your life. And you should have been doing them before you even reminded that you're going to die in 7 days. But you're not doing them because you take life for granted. And this is why it's so important to get familiar with the idea of death. And that's the way to beat it as well, is to understand your time is limited here. You're going to die soon, and take charge of your life. And know that time is gonna go anyway, and I'm going to do whatever in my power to get to where I want to go and live a happier lifestyle, create the business I want, look healthier, have a better relationship, whatever it is that you're after. You have to be reminded of death every day, and it's such an important aspect of life, shouldn't be left out, and it shouldn't be one of those topics that left not talk about and thinking that it's sad, because I tell you what is not sad is reality. Next one is fear of your own mind. Now this is a big one. There is a Chinese symbol that has a picture of gold with a spear going right through it. And the meaning of that symbol is, if you learn to overcome your mind, you will overcome money. if you will overcome money, you will overcome success, you overcome everything you want. People fear their own mind because we don't want to be left alone with it. If you have a mind that's built for survival, is built to make us alive. It's not built for improving, thriving, reaching success and doing. That's why it feels so uncomfortable to get out of your comfort zone and do stuff on a daily basis. So you got to master your own mind. If you master your own mind, and I'm nobody to talk about this because no way in hell I have mastered my own mind, but it's the journey that I'm going through, and it's just realizing the importance of your beating your own mind and mastering your own mind. Now, if you're afraid to be alone, we're afraid to not be on our devices. We constantly have to do stuff. We constantly have to be on our laptop, on the phone, on social media, talking to our friends, going out, and we're afraid to sit down in silence and don't think about nothing and don't have anything to talk about. We're afraid to be alone with our own mind because it's fearful. We are scared, and it's one of the most powerful fears as human being, and you got to learn to overcome it. Let me tell you one thing about your mind. If I could tell you one thing, is the fact that sit down with your mind alone and you will learn so much. And if you have not where you want in life, sit down, get rid of your phone, shut down your laptop, put it in another room on top of a cupboard or something that you don't have access to, get rid of your TV, get rid of everything, and I want you to sit down for 1 hour and just let your mind be alone by itself. Let yourself overcome all the fears. Let all the fears come to the surface, and let yourself beating all those fears. And do it on a regular basis. Sit down with your mind. Take a piece of paper, a pen, and just write down what's in your mind. Put down what's in your mind on a piece of paper. All the fears will arise to the surface. So fear of your mind. If you learn to master your mind, you will master your life. And this is an ancient quote from the ancient Greeks and some of the biggest philosophers out there, that you need to learn your own mind. You need to learn to overcome your mind. And if you overcome your mind, you will overcome your relationship. You will overcome money for fact. You will be able to do what's necessary, because a lot of us with making money is to overcome your fear and go out there and take action, daily action every single day. And fear doesn't let us do that. Our own mind self-sabotaging ourselves. We like to make ourselves suffer, and we need to learn how to control your mind. If you control your mind, your life will be in a better place. And the way to do that is to sit down in a quiet place and just go on this journey of self-entitlement, enlightenment, and going out there and really experiencing what life has to offer. Read books, talk to people, go to live events, must invest in yourself and your education and your health and your spiritual health, everything. Work on yourself consistently and you will get better as time goes on. Now that's about it really. That was the 3 biggest fear human being have, and this was my insight of the fears, which is fear of other people, fear of death, and fear of your own mind. 3 of the biggest fears human beings have, and what stops us to get to where we want to go. Thanks again for taking time to watch my videos. If you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe. Pedram TV is my YouTube channel. Like, share this video. Thanks again. If you haven't yet followed my Instagram, also have daily inspiration on Instagram, is Pedram TV as well. If you go on there, you'll get daily inspiration. Thanks again for watching. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. If you need help, I'm here to help. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, take care.